Scott Morrison's hopes of ending the parliamentary year with a clash on policy with Labor have been dashed by a blistering intervention from his predecessor. The former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has urged the coalition to hold a March election and told Liberals not to capitulate to a backbencher's threats of defection. His comments have frustrated Liberals and derailed government efforts to focus Parliament's attention on national security laws. Here's political editor Andrew Probyn.
Now he's just a man of the people.
It's a beautiful day for a walk to the ferry.
But it's his recent former life still occupying his thoughts and plans he was never able to see through.
As it happens, my intention as Prime Minister was to go to the polls on the 2nd of March.
A timeline the government should stick to, he says, to shield the New South Wales Liberal government from fallout.
The brand damage to the party, which arose from the leadership change in August, and that has been considerable.
Malcolm Turnbull, still deeply bitter about his ousting, now urging his party to defy attempts to save Liberal MP Craig Kelly, a fierce critic of the former Prime Minister and a close ally of Tony Abbott. Mr Kelly has lost favour with local pre-selectors and was on the verge of being disendorsed until Scott Morrison intervened amid concerns Mr Kelly would go rogue.
The assertion that Mr Kelly has threatened to go to the crossbench and bring down the government. If that threat had been made, that is effectively blackmail. Why would you give in to that?
But Mr Turnbull's intervention failed, the party machine today cancelling pre-selection contests in New South Wales.
I really don't want to say anything except that I am supporting the government, I'm supporting the Prime Minister, and I'm supporting the re-endorsement of all my parliamentary colleagues.
Malcolm Turnbull may have lost in this factional skirmish, but Liberals are worried that in directly challenging the authority of Scott Morrison, he might inflict greater damage in the lead-up to the next election. It's another major distraction for a government that's attempting to put the heat on Labor over national security laws.
Encryption is a tool being used by terrorists, organised criminals, pedophile rings, and it is something we must get ahead of.
The government's urging the opposition to support laws giving security agencies access to encrypted messages from terrorists and criminals. Labor's got its concerns, and a compromise might be in the offing through the powerful Intelligence and Security Committee, although its bipartisanship was today tested.
It's running a protection racket for terrorist networks who can communicate using encrypted applications.
A comment that's infuriated Labor on a day when even the government seemed to have difficulty identifying who the real enemy is.
Unfortunately, Mr President, we also know that terrorists, it's twice in 2 weeks, Mr President.
Friend or foe never seemed so apt. Andrew Probyn, ABC News, Canberra.